This episode of Help My Cooking Sucks is brought to you by BestRecipesNetwork.com.
Coming up on this week's show, 2 ways to enjoy corn on the cob, a bride-sized cake, a homemade barbecue, a frugal website to save money on groceries, a simple but tasty buttermilk recipe for chicken cutlets. All that and more on this session of Help My Cooking Sucks. Hello, my name is Lorna and welcome to Help My Cooking Sucks. This is a show where you will learn step by step just how easy it is to make delicious meals that both you and your family will enjoy. An introduction to some helpful websites and tips for making your life in the kitchen much easier. The other day I happened to be surfing and I noticed a couple of images that I thought were very funny. This first one is a human-sized wedding cake. It made me do a double take. I don't know if this is what the bride was expecting when she ordered her wedding cake, but I'm sure she'll never forget it. Another thing was a homemade barbecue. There's no need for you to buy one of those expensive barbecues when you can make your very own. All you need are a few empty beer cans. Shouldn't be hard to get someone to empty them for you. A roasting pan and a wire grill can be used to make an impromptu barbecue. Take this to your next tailgate party. I have 6 grandchildren, and the other day one of my granddaughters said to me, "Grammy, why is it that grandmas always know how to cook and bake?" Well, I thought about that, and it reminded me of my own grandmother, and this was hers. This was my grandma's sifter. I would watch as she put all kinds of ingredients in there, sifted them together, and sooner than later, I was eating the most delicious cookies. Hi again. Here's a little cooking tip for you. Do you like your corn juicy and sweet or ready to eat? Well, there's 2 ways you can prepare it. For juicy and sweet corn, you simply boil a pot of salted water, add your corn, and cook for 18 minutes. Turn off the heat, leave the corn sit in the pot for 5 minutes, remove the corn and serve. It will be juicy and sweet. For ready-to-eat corn, you boil the salted water, turn off the heat, put the corn into the pot, leave it sit there for 15 minutes, and take it out of the pot and serve it. It's ready to eat. Here's a little food tip for you. If you'd like a healthy substitution for a condiment, try this. Top that lean, grilled, juicy burger with some coleslaw instead of pickles for a filling and a nutritious change. A sweet and sour recipe will provide plenty of crunch in addition to the vitamin C of the shredded cabbage. And here's a real good kitchen tip. If you have one of those smooth top ranges that requires a special cleaner, try this tip. Use Vim to clean off those cooking spills. It really works, and it is inexpensive. A handy website I have for you is mygrocerydeals.com. Find grocery deals in your neighborhood, create a shopping list, then email your list, save it, or print it off. One of the reasons I was so taken with this site is because they make it easy to identify foods that we are allergic to. That's mygrocerydeals.com. Now it's time for our recipe. Today it's breaded chicken cutlets. I think you'll really enjoy making these. What you need is 1 pound of chicken cutlets, a cup of buttermilk, 1/4 cup of yellow cornmeal, a 1/4 cup plus 2 little teaspoons of flour, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of ground pepper, a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, and 3/4 of a cup of chicken broth. All right, let's start. The first step is to mix together the flour, the cornmeal, the pepper, and the salt. Now, I'll just mix those together so that they all, the pepper and salt and cornmeal and flour is all together here. Just takes a minute. Pretty color, pretty color. I'm a painter, so I like colors. Now, I'm going to dip the chicken into the buttermilk, and once it's dipped and coated in the buttermilk, then I'm going to dip it into our cornmeal mixture. Well coat it. Maybe I'll just use the fork here to coat it really well. Both sides well coated. And our second piece. Beautiful looking chicken. Holy cow, this is nice looking chicken. And that's our chicken already coated in the dry ingredients. Now I've preheated the pan and I'm going to add the cooking oil. Once I add the cooking oil to the preheated pan, over medium heat, I'm going to add the chicken. You'll hear it sizzle. You'll hear the chicken sizzle. Now, the chicken will cook for approximately 3 minutes on either side and only turn it once. It depends on how thick chicken cutlets you use. So we're just going to let it cook for about approximately 6 minutes. Now our chicken's been deliciously cooked. Just going to put it on my lightly garnished plate and prepare to make the broth for the chicken. Oh, it's golden in color, and that's the way yours should look when you finish cooking it. Okay, to make the broth, I'm just going to take the little bit of flour that we had from before, about 2 teaspoons, and just mix it around the pan to soak up the drippings that are in there from the chicken. This will only take a second. And then I'm going to add I'm sorry, I couldn't remember what I was adding there for a minute. I'm adding the vegetable oil. Sorry about that. Oh, this is going to be nice. And you just kind of stir it until it's smooth. Add the other ½ cup of buttermilk. And you're going to make a real nice gravy or sauce to kind of just drizzle over the top of the chicken. It's going to be delicious. Now I'll also add a little bit of salt and pepper to this as well. And I'm going to let it sit here and cook for about 2 minutes. Okay, we've let the broth simmer for about 2 minutes. I've added a little bit of salt and pepper to the broth as well. And it's nicely thickened and ready to kind of just drizzle over the top of the chicken. So, here we go. Oh, it's so nice. This is a simple recipe, and I know your children will love it as much as you do. Nice, nice recipe. Here we go. Oh, doesn't that look delicious? Don't you wish you were here to share it with me? Okay, it's time to taste this delicious recipe. Oh my, the chicken is very, very tender. I'll just take a little bite. Oh, that is so good. If you have any questions that you would like answered, please send them to me at Lorna@helpmycookingsucks.com. Also, if you should have a favorite recipe that you would like to share, send along that as well, or even any tips. I may even make your recipe on this show. That's it for this week's episode of Help, My Cooking Sucks. Be sure to join us again next week, where I'll be talking about how to make the very best roast potatoes, how to make your kids want to eat veggies, a recipe for a truly delicious stew, more funny images, and tips, tips, tips. See you then. Have a great day. And remember, please, love your life. My name is Lorna, and you can see more of my videos by visiting helpmycookingsucks.com.